Crank man on dick.
What's going on, everybody? This is your young fella, Young T Bell, and I'm gonna let you know right now, Crank, AP, I'm gonna get deep in this one. Alright, I'm gonna just let you know now. Yes, I'm going there. Chris, I'm gonna need your help. I'm gonna need some backup in this episode, but just stick with me. And I promise somebody will be touched and they'll be able to benefit from this episode. But we can't forget, Tyler, you're still doing good. Episode whatever, I still never can keep up with. I don't know why. I'm too busy congratulating myself, but I'm proud of you, Tyler, because you're still doing these podcasts consistently. Somebody's watching. Somebody. Who? No idea. I see the views, no idea who's watching. Most of the views are mine, but it's cool. For those who tuned in for the last, 12 episodes, 11 episodes, thank you so much for supporting the Real T Bell. Thank you so much for supporting the Man Training Podcast. And I'm excited for today's episode because if you don't know by now, me, your good fella, Young T Bell, I have been on this journey to become a better husband, a better father, and being the person that my family needs me to be for them. In reference to being the man of the house that my family needs me to be, not the man of what somebody else may need or what somebody else wants, but under this roof at my house, being the man of the house that my family needs, working to make sure that I am exactly operating in the capacity that my family needs. And the first thing I started with, as I was a husband before any of this, right? So today, of course, is going, I don't know the title, but the topic is going to be basically about learning lessons in order to become a better husband, right? So last year, like right before quarantine started, Joy and I had the opportunity to go up to the Blue Ridge Mountains for like a getaway retreat for some other couples. Auntie Jill, you need to do another one. We make sure you put that together so we can make sure we can go, because we need to get away from these kids and get back in the mountains, right? So we had the privilege to go to the mountains. And it was good because it was so beautiful. We had the scenery. We was in a log cabin. It was cold. You know, we had the fireplace going. We could see the wilderness. Man, I should have took a picture of the trees. You can see the tree lines. You can see this beautiful river. It was just amazing. I loved it. Can't wait to go back. But that's not why I'm making this video. The reason I'm making this video is because I'm finna put this picture on the screen, right? Our sister Kedra. So what happened was, to get from the cabin we were staying in down, for the longest, like every day I was like, I want to go to the river. I want to go to the river. I want to go to the river. I kept telling everybody, all the couples that was with us, I was like, I want to go see the river. I got to get to this river before I leave. Nobody wants to go with me. I'm going to go down there. And if I don't come back, I don't come back, but I'm going to get to this river before we leave. Right. So, me, Joy, Kedra and Danny, we made our way down to the river. Right. The thing about this river was, to get down to it, it was at least probably more than 200 feet, if that, probably more. But it was a very steep staircase, and I'm going to put some video footage and a little clips just so you can kind of get a picture of the steepness of the incline going down to the river. Now, going down like these steps and rocks and through the mud, these steps were not in the best shape. They were old, they were rotten, they were creaking. Some parts was falling apart. Some parts actually fell apart as we were going down the steps, and some of the rocks and everything like that were it was unsafe. It was unsafe. I'll just say that, right? So it was a long journey down to the river, but I'm going to put this picture up because this was like when we finally got to the bottom of getting ready to get to the river, right? So this picture on the screen right now, and I'm looking at it because I'm trying to keep it lined up right here with my phone. The picture I'm posting is a picture of me and Joy, right? And we were still going down to get to the river, right? But when you look at this picture, what do you think? Like, when you first look at it, you just see, they're getting ready to cross the railroad tracks. They're going down the hill. They're going to the river. And you see the trees and the leaves, and Joy's bundled up, and Tyler is in his hoodie, yada, yada, yada. all that kind of stuff. But this is slowly becoming one of my favorite pictures. Why? Because it's actually a life lesson behind this picture. And I'm probably going to post it on my wall somewhere because it means something. I'm going to tell you what it means. So looking at this picture, most people wouldn't know. This is where we got to the part where the rocks was like really shifty, and anytime if you could slip and bust your tail. The rocks were kind of spaced out, so you would have to like jump to get to the next rock in order to still get down to the river, right? And in this picture, I'm first. So it's me, then it was Joy behind me, then it was Keidra and Danny behind us, right? So I've gone down first as we're close to getting to the railroad tracks, right? So looking at this picture, the reason it's becoming one of my favorite pictures, it's a couple of reasons. Because it was a teaching moment. Most people would just be like, oh, they're just going to the river. No, this is a teaching moment. In this picture, I got a couple of things that I had to take away from going all the way from the top all the way down to the bottom. And the first thing was, in reference to this picture, specifically building a strong marriage. What I had to learn in this looking back at the picture, this was a teaching moment. I missed it at the time, but I had to go back and reflect on it. But the first thing that I got from this picture, looking at how, Joy was behind me and I went down first. In this picture, it's the opportunity where she basically learns how to trust me in leading her, right? I was going first, looking at it in the picture. I had went down first. Me being the man, I know what I'm doing. I can hop around, skip around, jump around. I can get down to this river fast time. Being inconsiderate of her because I'm a man. I know what I'm doing, right? Oh, it ain't that big of a deal. Get on this rock, get on that rock. But it's bigger than that. It's like, okay, Joy's uncertainty and trying to figure it out and all this kind of stuff. That was an opportunity for her to be like, okay, he's basically not going to let anything happen to me or lead me astray, because every step he takes, I can follow him. Every move he makes, I can follow him. So she's learning how to trust me, and I'm learning how to guide her as we're, to you, it may seem simple, but those steps were like, when I say really dangerous, they was like really dangerous. So every step I would take, she would follow because she trusted the steps and my guidance, basically. The way I'm leading her says everything she needs to know about how I would lead in a marriage. It's not just a picture. Going down these steps when she's trying to follow my lead, she can't see where she wants to go or what she wants to do. She's following me. This was the moment where I had to be like, okay, my wife is learning how to trust me to lead her, and I can't tell her to step over there because I know that's not safe over there. Or I can't tell her to make a step on this rock because I know it's loose. Like, she's basically trusting me to lead her down these steps and on these rocks so we can get to the river, right? That was the first thing. Her learning how to trust me as the leader of our marriage, right? The second thing was she was learning how to trust me with her fears. I keep saying it was really dangerous because it really was, because the wood was rotten. Like, every step you took could have been like you busting your tail on going down these steep steps. I wish I would have took a deeper picture, but I only got this small clip. But basically, her learning how to trust me with her fears. There was good reason to be, a little cautious or scared or fearful going down these steps, because a couple of times your boy was slipping on them, like on the rocks and on the steps, because me trying to be the macho man, like I got it going on, like I know what I'm doing. I didn't. A couple of times I almost bust my tail, but as her being scared, how would I comfort her in her fear? Like, would I just be like, oh, come on, you don't know what you're doing? And she's like, it doesn't help, as the husband trying to lead her. If she's uncertain or if she's fearful, it's bigger than just going down these steps. This was a life moment to where if she says, okay, whatever season we're in, if I'm fearful as your wife, can I trust you? Trusting, that was the first thing. Trust you with my fears to lead us safely through this season. Like, can you navigate safely through whatever we're dealing with? Can I trust you to hold my hand and to make sure we get on the other side or get to our destination safely, right? That was the second thing, going down these steps. It's bigger than the pictures where it just looks like we're going down. This was a marriage teaching moment because she was learning me and I was learning her, and she was seeing what kind of man and husband and leader and trust. Can she trust me, or how will I lead her? Those are the things we're learning, or I learned looking back at this picture, right? The last thing, and one of the funniest things where I know I failed at that time, but I look back and I have to reflect so I can grow from it, was going down this steep, dangerous set of steps. Even though we were close to the bottom, would I be a patient husband? This is where she would see, okay, can I trust him? Can I trust him with my fears? And how patient is he really going to be with me? If I'm scared as a wife, if she's scared, if she's uncertain, and she wants to put her trust in me, how patient would I be as a husband? Would I be the husband that, come on? Well, I'll tell you what I did. Come on. You don't know what you're doing. You slowing us down. We losing daylight. You need to come on. What you scared for? All of that stuff. Ooh. All that stuff. That's what I was doing. I was impatient. She put her trust in me, and I was just like, you need to come on. We lose. It's getting dark. You need to, like, I was just like impatient because all I wanted to do was, I wasn't worried about her safety. Nobody. I was just like, we need to get down here, which was bad of me because ask yourself, how can your wife trust you if she's already scared? She's trying to trust you and put her faith in your abilities to get to the destination, and trying to deal with this situation. How she's trusting you to handle the situation in your marriage, with your family, with your kids. If she can't trust you to lead her down a set of steps, how's she gonna trust you in life? How's she gonna trust you with your money? How's she gonna trust you when things get rocky? This is basically what I'm saying. Going down those steps was her learning how to do all these things and showing her what kind of husband I would be to her in order to for us to learn each other, basically. But that last one, it was funny because I know I bombed, and I was just like, bring your tail on, because if I'm gonna be mad, it took us probably about 15-20 minutes to get down them steps, no lie. But I was just like so focused on getting down there that I was improperly leading her because I was so impatient. Like, just come on. What you doing? What you scared for? You need to do this. You need to do that. You wasting time. It ain't that bad. But I can't tell her how to feel. I don't know what she was thinking and all this kind of stuff. All I know is that whole situation from this one picture. Can I trust you? Can I trust you to lead me? Can I trust you with my fears if I'm scared in our marriage? And would you be patient enough with me? Basically, would you show me grace if I'm uncertain in a situation? Would you, be patient with me while I'm trying to figure this thing out, while I'm trying to feel my way through? Can you be patient enough, while you're trying to lead me, because I trust you, but there's still some uncertainty. And that it's not saying anything is wrong with that, but from this one picture, you can see all these lessons because, Kedra's calling me now. I got to call you back, Kedra. But basically, you learn what kind of spouse you have, what kind of leader can you see this person is going to be. They're going to be impatient. They're going to wait on you. They're going to take their time with you. They will say, come on, boo. Come on, take this step. I wasn't that person. I failed in that part because I know how fearful it could have been, but I wasn't like the patient leader. It was a bad moment to say, can you put your trust in me? So I know now, when things get rocky now in a situation or in our marriage, I want to do a better job of showing her, yes, you can trust me. Yes, when you're scared, I can lead you properly. Yes, I'll be patient with you as you feel your way through, as you get more comfortable with this situation. I'll do what I can to make sure you have complete trust in me, and that I'll make sure we get to whatever destination we need to be in. It's bigger than a picture. The best part was, when we finally got to the railroad tracks, everything got all smooth and you could see the river, and it was just beautiful because it's just like in your marriage, in a situation, you go through all those trials and your steps, and you're trying to trust the process and going down there. Then you finally get to this, like, I guess you could say, this little reward, because like we finally got to the river, listened to some worship music, and it was just like so peaceful and calming to just sit by the river and just listen to the water just flow on by, and the moon came up a little bit. It got a little dark, but just the sound and the peacefulness of being by the river made it all worth it. It was scary going back up them steps because it was pitch black, no lights. All we had was our camera, our flashlights on our phones. But going back up, I know I failed again because I was impatient and we couldn't really see. All I had was my phone, was the flashlight. She couldn't really see, and I know I could have did a better job of leading her going down and up. But looking back, I know now, to give her the grace and be patient with her and give her the the space to be able to trust me in her fears, and being able to know that, okay, no matter what situation we're dealing with, what trials, what tests we're dealing with, you can trust me to make sure we're going to get through this situation safely. So look at this picture. Look at it again. When you look at the picture, what do you think? Do you see a different picture now? Do you see some other details now? Because most people, they won't learn from situations. They'll just go through it and just kind of move on. But I look back at it like, okay, I could have been more patient. I could have been a better leader. I could have, reassured her in her fears or uncertainty. That's what I learned from that picture. That's why it's becoming one of my favorite pictures, because it's a learning moment. If you don't learn from your mistakes, then what's the point of making mistakes? You're just going to keep making the same mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes, but don't just keep making the same mistake. I know that was kind of deep, but it was a learning moment, for me at least. That's why it's called the Man Training Podcast. But I'm going to stop right there because I want you to take a good look at this picture again. What do you see when you see the picture? When you look at the picture, what are you thinking? I know what I was thinking looking back, knowing the backstory of, going down that mountain and down that hill and down those steps. But what do you see? Do you just see a picture, or do you see a learning moment? Think on that. And while you're thinking, if you enjoyed this episode of the Man Training Podcast, if you liked anything that was said, if you laughed, if you cried, if you can relate any kind of way, if you have a picture in your phone that you can look back at and say, this was a learning moment for my marriage or my relationship, ask yourself, what could I have learned from this situation looking back at it? It's never too late to learn. It's never too late to grow. But it's all in how you perceive the situation. You can choose to ignore it, or you can choose to pick out the details that help you learn and grow from it. All right? Make sure you like the page, like the video, share the video, pray over the video. Thank you, Jesus. And make sure you think about this. The next time you're in a situation or you see a video or picture you can reflect back on, think about what can you learn from this picture or this situation. Okay? I have been your man, Young T Bell. AP, if you're still watching, I told you it was going to be deep. I warned you, bro. You can't say I didn't. I let you know, Chris. Okay, now you look at it. I was looking at them shoes. I was looking at them shoes. What can you learn from them shoes picture that Tam got you? That's irrelevant. Anyways, I have been your man T Bell, the learning young fella, the learning husband, the learning father, the learning son, the learning individual who's trying to become a better person. And until the next time, go be great.